Hey guys, Zach the Great back at your service for Chapter 6, the Barn, which is the second gate, of course. I've showed you the story of the previous episode. We are now moving on to Castle of the Dead. No zombies, sorry. Defeat the enemy within a time limit. Traveling east, you came upon the ruins of the castle. For a moment you wondered if it too was the work of the night. Excuse me. But it was clear that much time has passed since the castle fell into ruin. You entered the castle in order to get a view of the land ahead of you. Looking out to the east, far from the top of the castle wall, you saw an ominous-looking mountain range along the horizon beyond the flatlands. You wonder if perhaps that was the place that held so much. And hurrying on your way, you crossed through the central garden and came face to face with a giant stone monument upon which was inscribed, "Rest in peace, our brothers. Held to the right, and do not lose your way in the court of the dead." A field of graves, presumably of those who had lived in the castle, lay on the other side of the monument. Standing before the exit to the castle was a man clad in armor. It seemed that he was the gravekeeper. He drew his weapon and moved forward to rid the holy place of its intruder. That big guy is a freaking gravekeeper. He has an axe. He's not a gravekeeper. Gravekeeper doesn't have an axe. He has a type of shovel sword thing. I don't care what you people say. I could be wrong and he has an axe. He doesn't have that big axe. He doesn't have that big of an axe. Trust me. If he has an axe, it's like one of those mid-sized ones. Stop twirling like a ballerina around me. God. Stage 2, City of Narcia. Have fun. Oh look, this one. Okay, I'll explain this one in a sec. I'll explain what's written in yellow and orange. But I'm gonna read this. The history of the city of Narcia revolved around its combat arena, and it was known as the City of Gamblers. Wasn't that the same one last time? A bustling townsfolk gave the place the feel of a miniature betting snatch. Ah, smart. You entered Narcia. It was another day of purely warriors seeking challengers and gamblers seeking riches. Perhaps you can find information about the knights here. You asked a young townsperson for directions to the arena and made your way over to it. Upon passing through the gate, a great cheer arose around you. You walked in through the entrance for new challengers. You stood cursing your luck as the onlookers stared at you, trying to size up your strength. Great, you're making me nervous. Okay, you kill people. Hold on, he kills Cassandra. Alright, this is what happens. You have a choice. Double or nothing. You have earned 300 gold. If you win the next battle, your gold will double. If you lose, you technically will receive 100 and some experience. But I'm going to continue for 600. I usually go up by at least go to challenge 3 or whatever. Like, I always go to fight number 3 and then just go ahead and go, oh well, whatever. Because technically this is something you don't have to do, because this is one that's giving you a choice. Ow. Even though you gain health. Alright. Now, I'm going to end my battle and receive 600 gold. You still go through the story. Oh, we receive platinum. Even though you don't get all the way up there, you haven't defeated all the enemies. As long as you didn't die. The Abe's weapon has the ability to guard by defeat the enemy in this condition. As you left the temple at which you spent the night, the monk said to you, "Be careful, traveler. Someone in the arena was ambushing passerby. Several skilled warriors from the arena in Narcia had already become victims. Was it the work of those you sought?" Thanking the monk for his warning, you headed out of the temple. While walking along the path beside the river, a woman suddenly jumped out in nearby bushes and blocked her path. She brandished a huge weapon disproportionate to her body. She wasn't of the ones you saw in Rizar, but is it possible that they added members to their ranks since then? You had to be careful. It was clear that this woman was the one attacking the travelers. She didn't look like she had any intention of holding a conversation. There was no choice but to fight. Look at that. One you know. Whoa. Alright, new feature. The person we just fought is now selectable. And we go either that way or that way, but I'm going in order by stages. So, guard and pat the enemy's attacks. Okay. If you follow this road, Master, it will lead to a Cristonia Ridge. After losing to you, Arno vowed to mention her always and stop attacking travelers. To mend her ways. She began calling you Master. Just kinda heads up if you actually meet me one day. I don't like becoming Sir for some odd reason. I just don't like it. Or Mr. I just like people calling me by my name, to be truthfully honest. But I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I like to prefer myself as Doug. But it's up to you, I don't care. According to her, a famous warrior lived in the Cristonia Ridge. Several days ago, she saw a group of men head out to that ridge. You choose to follow their trail, but there was no one to be found at the ridge. Only a dirt mound with a sword just jutting out of it, surrounded by flowers. From the condition of the sword and dirt, it was clear that the grave was fresh. You realize that there had been a battle here. Yet the man of the ridge was the one that was killed, who had placed these flowers. Don't move! Was it not enough to take my master's life? Have you come now to desecrate his grave as well? Turning around, you face a swordsman brandishing her weapon. You try to explain, but she doesn't. Silence! Listen up, dog of Varro. You best not let your guard down just because I'm a woman. My toughness exceeds even that of my master, and I'll prove it. There's no other choice, you drew your weapon. People judge me! If you play this game, people judge you. Just like that. You need to pay attention, because like her, you need to pay attention to what she does. Ow. See? It'll be hard for me because I don't use it a lot. Not really, in particular, but it's really hard to guard impact because I don't do it. You can just hit her all you want. You're only doing like an eighth of damage. Okay, now we go to the Silent Ruins. This is the way to the underground passage, Master. But it is known as a filthy place, and everyone steers clear from it. Arma continued to consider herself your disciple. She was knowledgeable about the area, and according to her, an underground passage lay just ahead. Dude, you can see it! You remember the 3 gates you heard about in Altar? Perhaps this passage led to the second one. After traveling for a while, the spirit sword suddenly began to resonate, as if reacting to something. Wondering at this, you began to search for the location that had caused the strongest response. You soon arrived at an old ruin, hidden on the opposite shore of the river, not far from the path. I was surprised at first that someone like you would make it here, but I see now that you have Soul Calibur. What were the priests of Altar thinking? The young man in the ruin spoke to you as he looked at the spirit sword in your hand. It appeared that you were not welcome. Of course. I know that you're nothing more than another fool in search of soulage. Leave now, he said as he pointed his weapon at you, or this place will be your grave. People say that a lot. People say that a lot. Yeah, it doesn't end well. Whoa! Crabby bastard. Boom! Well, it did say the weapon gains life. Oh, look, we have become an Iron Disciple. Extra survival standard, which is another difficulty. Huh? Oh, look, an underground Juno. Okay. Bastion fell to his knees, his shoulder shuddering with every haggard breath. Damn you! You'll regret not finishing me off. I swear I'll kill you! What? You explained to him that while it was true you were seeking Solich, you were well aware of his danger, and that you were chasing the knight who destroyed the Gate of Mizar. But, of course, every guy you defeat doesn't listen. I don't care what Altor or Mizar have to say. I do not trust you. You're the same as Viral. But maybe worse. At least Viral doesn't pretend to hide what he's doing. Who's Viral? He's the man you're chasing. He went to the underground passage of Juno. He probably thinks Solich is on the other side. He's a fool if you're chasing him. Then hurry up and go. Upon arriving at the underground passage, you notice that the water is covering the floor. You begin to get the feeling that the water level was rising. Well, think you had to better hurry. Okay. Another dungeon. How long? Navigate through the enemy-infested dungeon and defeat the boss within the time limit. And you get 200! And it's not that long either. That was Sparta. Greatest nightmare. To be truthfully honest, to let you know, I don't know how high levels go, but if you play it long enough, you'll find out. He killed himself. He rained himself out. I didn't have to do a thing. Oh my god. Wow, that's hilarious. How? Now, this is one where you want to try and leave. If you don't have enough time, this is where you want to leave and go as fast through it as you can. So, this is one where I can't screw around, so I'm just going to go straight through it. And, probably, at the end of this video, at the end of what I'm doing, I will probably, can't talk while fighting. Okay. At the end of the video, I will show you what other fights there are in this dungeon. Like those, I don't know where the boss is, but wherever the boss is, whatever I don't go through, I will go back. Do it again. Okay. Weird. Anywho. Because there's probably a featurette in here somewhere. Oh look, a berserker. Where's the Hammer of Dawn? Where's the Hammer of Dawn? Oh my god! Ah. Oh man, we were neck and neck until he did that. I gotta say though, when the creators made this game, they actually went into depth into these characters. I have to admit, because I think these guys, the berserkers and stuff, are only in all practice mode, I think. I'm not sure, though. Stop, you, me! Ow, my back. Me. I don't know if I lose time and do it again if I lose, but I can see. Nope. Good. There, two. Happy. Boss. Yay. Gotta go back through it later, but... He's the same guy that tried killing me. Actually. Oh no. No. You're not throwing me in the water right away. No, Ledbury! Ledbury! Ah! Martyr of the Soul. Goody, he's an executioner anyway. Trip. Oops. A feature has been unlocked. I get 38 gold and 23 experience, and then now we become a bronze disciple. I don't know what that is either, but the labyrinth has been added as a stage. Oh my god, we're at the end! Yay! Now we're going on to Chapter 7, Regal. Chapter 7, Demonic Realm. I can't believe we just lost 2-1. Impressive. Hama and Ledbury, defeated in battle against you, fell down to where they stood, slowly disappeared from view, and the water swallowed them. Pharaoh guessed that he would face pursuers. His men have been waiting for you inside the underground passage. That could only mean that you are headed in the right direction. Successfully defeating your enemies, you headed for the exit and reached the surface before the water filled the passage. And then you would drown. Pardon me. Even compared to the locations through which you've traveled so far, Regal was an especially plagued, desolate area. Despite the abundance of rivers, it was a region of parched earth and scraggly vegetation. From what Bastion and the priest in the altar said, you knew that the cursed sword was not located there, but one could easily be convinced that so largely hidden in this hellish land, if one did not know better. It was understood with a virile king here in search of Solage. The image of the gate in Mizar sliced cleanly in two, flashed briefly through your mind. It was just a matter of time before you caught up with him. Yay! We're so close. Okay. Pursuing Viral, you came upon a building situated in the middle of a desolated plain. The sun was especially fierce that day, so you headed for the building to rest in the shade. The building was small, but it had a fairly large basement area. Judging from the rows of iron bars, it appeared to be a prison, but the walls and bars were heavily damaged, and it was presumably no longer in use. When you went down to take a look, the sound of iron bars closing echoed off the walls. You turned around surprised and saw a man standing before you. It's just like he said, and he said he'd set me free. He set me free if I defeat you. I don't have anything against you, but this is my chance. I don't take it personally. Apparently, Viral had been feeding him stories. Seeing no other way out, you drew your weapon. As you did so, you noticed the man was not your only enemy. The walls and floor were booby-trapped with gunpowder. The man noticed your momentarily lapse in concentration and attacked. Receive heavy damage when knocked against the ground or wall. Defeat his enemy under these conditions. Whoa. Ah! Thank God. Ow! Walls are more effective. Letting you know that now. Ah, you only have to hit me once, you bastard. You meanie. Okay, I'll take that loss.
I will.
You have to change your costume, really? Do you really have to change your costume? Take that. I will poke you till you're dead. Because that's what I do. Wow! Ow! Oh my god. Silver Disciple. Have fun. Can you give me a higher rank? The spiritual city of Regal. Blitz. So it is you who have been pursuing Pharaoh. The two of you met here once more, as enemies and as friends. So you defeated those two, did you? I'm pleased to see that your skills were still sharp. Oh my god, it's Leon! Leon grinned as he spoke these words. You were surprised to learn that he was now working for Pharaoh. You explained to him how dangerous Pharaoh was, but Leon merely answered that he had a plan. He then pointed his weapon at you. If you've got time to worry about me, you should be worrying about yourself. Have you forgotten that there is but one soul edge? In other words, it was our fate to fight for one another sooner or later. You can feel his fierce hostility, but he shows such aggression, and you could not hold back your own. You could not hold back your own. Neither you or the enemy can guard against attack. Defeat them under this condition. I like that. Oh no, I can't guard. I hardly guard anyway. As you can see in this game, I don't guard. Whoa! Oh no. Take that. Yay! Now we get this. Fun. Okay, now the Forbidden Grounds. He possesses a fragment of soul edge. In other words, he's the closest to finding soul edge. So spoke Leon as he departed. He's not a fool. He doesn't believe that soul edge is here. He came here to gain the power to destroy the gate. It is said that the key to the gate is the spirit sword, so Calibur, but no one knows where that is. So he thought of the way to pass through the gates without the keys. A bit of a gamble, of course. So you finally come. I believe we met once before at Mezar. Pharaoh slowly opened his eyes, as if he had been expecting you. I assume you've come to stop me, but you're too late. A powerful aura, one you'd ever felt before, emanated from his body. Now that I've acquired the power to break the seal, I have no reason to stay here any longer. I have a feeling you'll be a nuisance later if I let you live. The ground around Pharaoh burst open and a monster of flame emerged. This pet was born from a fragment of soul. A mere piece of it stole power. It isn't appropriate that your life be put to an end by the power you long sought after. I get the face. We get the face, the fragment of soul edge. Oh, alright. Now, you can tell that you're not actually facing the ultimate weapon because you're just killing him. Now, when you actually fight him, when you get to the end, is you have to face him 3 times. 3. Oh, look! Growth! Weapon for Nightmare. Yay! I'm happy. So happy. Oh wait, I have enough too. Let me find it. Nope, that's not it. I think it's that one. No! Not yet. Okay, weapon select. I'm gonna use Soul Edge. Alright. Chapter 8. The third. To the east of Alderan lay the Holy Land of Merak. Here exists the third of the 3 gates and sealed solid, as well as the Grand Shrine of Merak, a name with which even ordinary citizens were familiar. Of course, few knew that the shrine was sealing the cursed sword. You experienced a bit of the evil's blade power in the Forbidden Grounds when you battled against a monster of flame born from a fragment of soul edge. You lost track of Varro while dealing with the monster. I have obtained the power to destroy the gate. It was safe to assume from those words that he was heading for Merak. You hurried back to the second gate at Elder, which was guarded by Bastion. The gate had been destroyed. Bastion was nowhere to be found. Just as with the gate in Mizar, this one was cut in 2 with a single stroke. Well, this time it was also scorched black. You let out a shudder as you recalled your battle in the Forbidden Grounds. Passing through the 2 gates and chasing after Varro, you entered Merak, but the landscape was as far from the ideal of a holy land as anyone could imagine. The entire area was awash with signs of destruction. Craters of black ash littered the ground. Bridges and roadways were destroyed, and pillars of black smoke rose over the horizon. Was this all Varro's doing? Well, I don't know, but we're about to kick his ass. I don't care. You were surrounded by a group of warriors. The city in the sky in which you stood once possessed the characteristics and beauty of all Highland dwelling, but no trace of that image remained. The main street, the tree-lined roads, the very buildings themselves all lay in ruin, as if sliced apart by giant planes. It can only have been the work of Varro. He seemed to bring destruction wherever he went. It was a mistake to mention his name inside the city. The gaze of those who lived has been suddenly shattered, all turned upon you. You told them that you were no friend of Varro, but they didn't listen, of course. You were forced to draw your weapon in self-defense, but this only served to anger them more. They slowly closed on you. The thin air at this high elevation complicated the matter. You would lose any chance of survival if you waited any longer. You had to put an end to the situation quickly. The timer increased with each enemy you defeat. However, the enemy's weapons penetrate defenses. Defeat. Oh, great. How fun. Oh, look. I got hurt. I gain life. And I take a big, huge chunk out of your life. Punch. I need more souls. Blah, 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 blah. I know you need more souls. There's 4 more people left. You can kill them. Oh, I got a droid. I can't guard. Is what it said. Technically. Whoa! No, Raphael, I will not dance. I just said that. No, I want to give up already. You shall die from where you stand. Strength! But I'm not screwing you. I had to do that. But I shouldn't have said that. But oh well. Let me show you. The greatest nightmare. 337. I know. I can buy it now. Yay! New costume. And I like using this costume because according to a friend of mine, it reminds him of Siegfried. I'll show you in a second. Give me a minute. Crystal Mine. The ability to not bag enemy has increased, but your health decreases over time. battle. Yeah, defeat the enemy under this condition. Is it true you're trying to fight against Vero while stopping in a town to recover your strength? You were approached by a group of preparing to fight Vero. Just like you, the people of Merrick weren't about to let Vero walk all over them. You exchanged information with the Merrick fighters. It turned out Vero had destroyed the city in the sky all by himself. In fact, he was always seen alone. That meant Leon was not traveling with Vero. You wonder what he was up to. The group leader sighed deeply. There's something else I have to tell you, unfortunately. There were a few groups of outlaws, as well as prisoners, who broke free because of the destruction Vero caused, that now view him as a symbol of power. They are the shame of Merrick. At that moment, there was a loud commotion outside the mine. It looked like an attack by the very people that he had just spoken of. But you were not in any shape to fight. The group leader handed you a vial. Drink this. It is only temporary, but it will give you strength. I'll see you again if we survive. The mine has only become a battlefield. Great. Ah! I don't wanna die! Poke. Dude! Oh shit. Poke! No. Ah! See, it reminds a friend of mine of Siegfried. But the problem is that Siegfried is being controlled by Nightmare according. Alright, so chapter 3. We're not going into that yet. We're going to continue chapter 8. Alright, the arena. Again, knock the enemy against the wall and utilize wall combos to defeat the enemy. Excuse me. You headed east toward the Grand Shrine of Merrick. Vero was definitely heading there. By the time you arrived at the city, he had already been beaten you to it. In the center of the destroyed city were the remains of a combat arena. It appeared to have been a place where great battles flourished. For Vero to pass through here so easily, the power of the team must have been fearsome indeed. Seeing movement near the arena, you headed over to investigate. A disturbingly figure clung to the wall of the arena. It turned to glare at you with a fierce hostility that you approached. Judging from the shackles on his body, he was obviously a prisoner, most likely set free in the chaos of Vero's attack. He must have been a very violent criminal for heavy iron bonds enwrapped in his body. It would be difficult to cause any damage through those bonds with normal attack. You quickly realized that the best way to fight him would cause impact damage slamming him against the wall. Yay! Poke! Oh, wait. Quit moving, you moving bastard. Again, doesn't give me a chance to do a thing. No one does. But I did level up to an iron fighter. But if I'm an iron fighter, do I need to use a sword? No. Massacre. Good. How do I kill this guy? Keep going at him like a moron. Damn stupid. Oh my god. Alright. That's what you get for killing me! Oh boy! Now we move on to the Isle phase. The airborne time is increased due to the blast of wind from below. Use air combos. The city was on fire. Pharaoh's onslaught must have happened only moments ago. You're catching up to him. Since the Grand Shrine of Merrick was still a little ways off, there may be a chance to stop him before he destroys a seal. Racing through the burning city, you soon saw a figure of the plains ahead of you. There was no mistaking it. It was a pharaoh. You finally caught up with him. He hadn't noticed you yet. You carefully closed in the distance. After following him for a short while, Pharaoh suddenly disappeared. That's great. You hastily broke into a run and soon saw that there was a large chasm in the middle of the plain. Strong winds blew from the hole. You entered the hole in order to pursue Pharaoh. That's far enough, a young man's voice echoed through the shack. It wasn't Pharaoh. I cannot allow you anyone to interfere with his mission. If you intend to get in his way, you are my enemy. A young man stepped out in front of you, brandishing his weapon. You seen that he was one of Pharaoh's followers. Amidst the fiercely rising winds, you drew your weapon and burned the fire. Oh my god. Okay. My main weapon, it goes in the air. Only one hit. Flip! Put the sword on my back. Anyway, I level up to bronze. Alrighty. Grand Shrine of Merrick. The enemy health recovers over time. Defeat the enemy on this condition. The Grand Shrine of Merrick. The third gate that sealed Soul Edge. Lay ruins before you. Pharaoh had finally made it all the way here. Losing precious time to fight the chasm, you finally arrived at dusk and hurried into the center of the devastated shrine. The fierce battle raged all the way into the deepest part of the shrine itself. Following along the path of destruction, you arrived just in time to see the final blow. I suppose it was inevitable that you would be the final one to stand against me, Blitz, wasn't it? I'll not forget that name. Pharaoh tossed aside the opponent he had just defeated and turned to face you. You could see Pharaoh's energy gathered into a strange sword in his hands. The entire shrine. No, the very barrier itself that sealed Soul Edge seemed to tremble. It was time you finally put an end to this chase. Why do I have to face myself with the same weapon? Oh my god. He gains more life than I do. But I know how to use it more. Ta-da. Chapter clear! Yeah! We win! We win! Yeah! Alright. Now, that's chapter 9. But wait, there's one more mission. So, beginning in subchapter, Road to Articus. The location you sought was located in the north of war-torn Merrick. Politic, known for being the birthplace of an ancient hero, had cut off all ties with the outside world a great many years ago. Information about the region was scarce. It was truly a land of mystery. There was a good reason you were going through the trouble of heading all the way out to a place like Pollock. For someone had seen a figure resembling Leon heading to the north. When we return, we shall go into this subchapter, defeat that, finish chapter 8, because technically we are done with it, but at the same time we're not, because there's one more mission to do. So up here we can open it. But when we return, we will, if my theory is correct, we will finish and kill the person behind this once and for all. See you guys then.